All right, so welcome to this quick training on how to jump straight into trading or investing in cryptocurrencies. Even if you don't have a wallet, even if you've never done it before, this video is going to be very quick, short, sweet, and to the point. We're going to give you a basic overview of one of the most popular platforms for trading and investing in cryptocurrencies. That's going to be Coinbase. Now, there are alternatives. We're just going to be focusing on Coinbase. In this case, most of the things we're going to talk about are also going to exist and be similar on all those other platforms. Maybe the naming conventions will be a little bit different, but most of the things, most of the aspects of it, the functionality are going to be the same, okay? But we're focusing on Coinbase because that is arguably the most popular one in the space today. So first off, this is the public-facing Coinbase website here. You can actually browse and look at the current pricing and history and all of your stats and charts without having to be logged in or without having to have an account yet, which is great. You can do that just by coming over here, clicking on prices, and that'll bring you to this page here. And as you can see, there's a ton of other things to navigate through as well, including a lot of academic stuff. So if you're one of those folks who's sort of been on the edge of the crypto space, you've sort of been on the fence about it, you know it's a big deal, but you haven't jumped in because it seems kind of overwhelming, there's plenty of great academic material right here from Coinbase that you can sit through and start learning about crypto, right? And then they also have a few different options for actions you can take as an individual versus as a business. And then we've also got developer-related stuff having to do with their SDK for the Coinbase wallet, as well as blockchain-related stuff. This is going to be obviously more advanced stuff. And then some standard stuff about Coinbase itself, where you can learn about the company. And it mentions affiliates here. We're going to circle back and talk about some very cool programs that they have. But if you haven't yet, what you're going to want to do is click Sign Up. When you sign up, it's no kidding, it's as simple and easy as this. You just fill out this form, create your account, and boom, you're in. You're inside of Coinbase, and you're able to trade. Well, after you connect a payment method, you'll be able to trade cryptocurrency. Like, no kidding, right off the bat. And right here, as you can see, you get a little $5 in Bitcoin for setting up your account, which obviously is not a huge deal, but it's kind of neat to have your first Bitcoin. And question is, where does that go after you've set up your account? Because you don't have a wallet yet, or so many of you don't have a wallet yet. So let's say if you don't have a wallet yet, where does this go? And that's the very cool thing about Coinbase, is Coinbase will actually keep and store your cryptocurrency for you. Okay, so when you purchase cryptocurrency via Coinbase, it'll be inside of your Coinbase account. You don't even have to have your own private wallet for that cryptocurrency. So let's go ahead and move over to the internal side of Coinbase. So this is when you're inside of Coinbase and you're actually able to go inside and then start trading. The first thing that you're going to want to do after you sort of looked around and familiarized yourself with things is set up a payment method. And you can do that from the settings section, which will be right over here if you click on your profile icon, which actually might be right off screen. It's just to the right of this bell. There's a little picture of a profile icon. You click on that and that'll bring up a bunch of options, and you will want to come over to this one here, payment methods. And yes, the birds are very lively out here right now, if you can hear them in the background. Now, as you can see here, I've got a few different payment methods connected. Depending on what kinds of payment methods you connect, there's going to be some limitations, okay? For example, if you're using a debit card or a PayPal account, there's going to be a certain maximum amount of US dollars that you can spend, for example, per day and in a single 24-hour period on trading cryptocurrency. So just be aware of that. The limits aren't super low. Okay, so for those of you who are just trying to, dip your toes in, get your feet wet, and try trading in cryptocurrency for the first time, the limits are probably going to be more than enough. Plenty of wiggle room for you to sort of dabble in it a little bit and get your feet wet. So that's payment methods. That's probably the first thing that you're going to want to do if you want to actually start trading and investing. And then there's a bunch of other options here as well. There's device management for managing the different devices that have access to your account. You can look at your activity, past purchases, and so on and so forth. Then you've got API related stuff, account limits. Speaking of account limits, like we were just a second ago, We've got crypto addresses, which has to do with wallets. And we've got your profile information here. And also, there's a couple other things here. So direct deposit is an interesting one where you can actually have your paycheck direct deposited into Coinbase. And you're basically, it's kind of like getting paid in crypto, so to speak. So that's kind of cool. If that's something that applies to your situation, definitely check that out. You can change your notifications and your security settings and all that good stuff here as well. And of course, Coinbase One is a big program that they've been pushing lately, where you pay about $30 a month. And obviously, at the time of this recording, you're going to want to check and see what prices are at the time that you're watching. But pretty low monthly fee. And in return, you get 0 trading fees and a whole bunch of other cool little perks, including account takeover protection and so on and so forth. So definitely check that out if that's something that interests you. And if you expect to be trading and have a high frequency of trades, then Coinbase One might be something that you're actually interested in. Let's move on to the main functions, and we'll start from the bottom here. So there's a couple of, if you'll recall, I talked about the idea of their referral and affiliate program a little bit earlier. They actually have some pretty cool ones. So you can actually bring other people to the platform, and when you do that, you and they will both receive $10 in Bitcoin when they buy or sell 100 or more on Coinbase. Now, a person could argue, and I don't have the data to back this up, so this is just conjecture, but one could argue that most, or at least very many people who come onto Coinbase to try their hand at trading some crypto probably are going to be going above $100, right? So that's actually pretty cool that you can grab $10 in Bitcoin for you and for a friend who you refer to them. And there does not seem to be a limit to that. So let's actually check on that real quick. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a limit. Obviously, you'll want to read in a little bit closer and more thoroughly. But if you are into the affiliate marketing kind of thing already, and now you're kind of stepping into the crypto space, you know what, why not add the Coinbase affiliate program or their referral program to your list of things to promote and maybe earn some passive income from. Now, we've also got the Learn and Earn dashboard here. This is where you can literally earn little bits and pieces of cryptocurrency here and there just by watching lessons. Just quick little lessons. Well, let's just sit through this one real quick just for fun so you guys can see what it's like. And you can do this on the phone app as well if you want to. So you're sitting through these cool little lessons, and they're very tiny little bite-sized chunks of information, and then you take a little quiz to make sure you were paying attention and so on and so forth. And then if you successfully pass and you complete the lesson, well, then you get a little chunk of cryptocurrency. For example, this one here, $3 of Mina. So that's kind of neat. And there's a whole bunch. These aren't the only 3. There's actually a ton of these that are available at any given time. And you can literally just at your leisure swipe through these on your phone, learn a little bit about crypto, and earn some little, small size, but still kind of cool rewards as you're doing that. Now, another interesting thing that they have is the ability to earn interest passively just by holding certain types of cryptocurrency in your Coinbase account here, which is pretty cool. So depending on what the currency is, what the cryptocurrency is, obviously the potential yield is going to be different. So for some of these ones, Cosmos, Tezos, Algorand, obviously those are pretty big rates. So if that's something that interests you, you might want to look into that. That's one of the, kind of neat and fun things about the crypto and the DeFi world is even in an environment where, the best interest rate that you're going to get, the best yield you'll get on, let's say, a CD, a certificate of deposit with a traditional bank is like, 1%, maybe even lower, depending on what rates are at any given time. You can come over here into the crypto world, which admittedly is a little bit more risky, a little bit more volatile. But you just by holding certain currencies in a Coinbase account, you can actually be earning some pretty significant rates here. So it is pretty neat. Obviously, read up very thoroughly so you understand, what the pros and cons of all of this is. But it's still pretty neat, though. And then right here, for example, you've got to get $50 to earn on your ETH, earn up to 3.68 APR plus up to 50 for the first stake. And the staking here, I believe, refers to, and right here, if you can't see it, there's a stake now button. I believe has to do with the transition that's happening to ETH 2.0. And so they want people to stake, right? And for the folks who do, because technically, it's actually kind of risky to stake your ETH here. In return for that, because it does help them with their transition to 2.0, they're going to reward you with, a certain level of interest here. So it's, again, there's risks involved. Don't just dive into this because it sounds cool. You want to read up on it a little bit, but just so you know, those options are here and then you can explore those, and they are frankly kind of exciting. Now, another cool thing is you can use your Coinbase account to send and receive crypto. So even if you don't have a wallet yet, you can actually engage in this just using your Coinbase account, right? Which is pretty neat. However, since we're talking about wallets, Coinbase does offer a wallet, and there's some benefits and advantages to having your own private crypto wallet, right? And you would mostly interact with that in most cases on your phone, but you can actually find a button here on Coinbase somewhere. I already have one, so the button's not visible right now. But you can get Coinbase's wallet, and then you can easily transfer your holdings, your assets, from your Coinbase account to your wallet, and vice versa, back and forth, right? And so just be aware of the difference there between having your assets inside of your Coinbase account versus inside of your wallet. It's kind of like some people will trade on the stock market with maybe a Scott Trade or a TD Ameritrade account, right? Now that is technically a bank account, but it's not your bank account. It is your bank account, but it's not, your main account that you use to pay for, your day-to-day life in most cases, right? And so usually you have your own personal, separate bank account, for normal life stuff. And so you remove money from your trading account and transfer it over to your regular account for it to be your regular money, right? Your spending money or your savings account, so on and so forth. You're checking in your savings. And then when you want money to be available for the purpose of trading, well, then you have funds moved over to or kept in your TD Ameritrade or your Scott Trade account. That's not the perfect analogy, obviously, but you guys kind of get the idea. So you can move assets between your Coinbase account. If it's in your Coinbase account, you can quickly and easily trade using those, right? Or you can move them to your Coinbase wallet and keep it there in your wallet. But anyway, you do have this functionality here from right inside of your account. And then the final thing that we're going to look at to bring this to a conclusion is going to be the trading tab. This is where you actually do your trading. This is where you actually, buy and sell cryptocurrencies. And as you can see, you've got sort of your top coins here ranked by, what are they ranking by here? Market cap, right? So these are going to be your top cryptocurrencies by market cap. But, depending on what you're wanting to trade, you're going to use the search bar here. So let's say, for example, that we're trying to track down, Shiba Inu, right? So we type in, SHIB, and we see what the results are. And there's the actual one right there, the main one. Then you got a bunch of other, sort of knockoffs. These would be actually, even this one, some would argue it would be the equivalent of penny stocks in the stock market, so to speak. One could say. Anyway, you'll notice a lot of these don't have a buy button next to them, right? And in fact, we can type in something as simple as Bitcoin. Watch what happens here. So you've got the actual, accepted and established cryptocurrencies that Coinbase trades in. And then you've got a few that, yeah, maybe they are established and accepted in some places, but right now they're not available for trade on Coinbase, right? And you can see some of these are pretty tiny in terms of their market cap. But they have Bitcoin in the name, right? So just be aware of that. Make sure that the currency that you're trying to trade is in fact the exact one that you're trying to trade. So look at the name, but also the this would be the equivalent of a ticker symbol here. And just be aware of what you're trading, right? So Bitcoin, BEP2 is, something maybe similar to or associated with, I don't know, Bitcoin itself, but obviously these are two different things, right? Bitcoin Cash is not the same thing as Bitcoin, right? And what are these other things we've got? Micro Bitcoin obviously is not the same thing as Bitcoin, as you can tell here. So anyway, you get the idea. And many of these are not going to be available for trade on Coinbase. Anyway, a lot of these smaller ones. It's mostly the bigger, more established ones that are available for trading on Coinbase. If you want to trade other cryptocurrencies beyond this, you have to go and look at other crypto exchanges, right? And there's also things out there called, swaps. There's one popular one called Pancake Swap, where you can actually, you can utilize those other avenues to get your hands on some of the more speculative, lower level, if that's the right term to use, cryptocurrencies, right? So a lot of that stuff, as exciting as it may be, it's not available for interaction with here on Coinbase, or at least not for, buying. And so you would have to, learn a little bit more about those and the different avenues for chasing those down. But proceed with caution because, again, all of this is very volatile. Those, sort of smaller level ones that people are saying, oh, it's going to explode, it's fractions of a penny, that kind of stuff. Obviously, that's even more volatile than these in many cases. So just be aware of that. Proceed with caution. Nothing in this video has been investment advice or crypto trading advice. Obviously, you're going to want to consult with an actual qualified financial expert or cryptocurrency expert or investment advisor before you make any significant decisions. But hopefully this quick tour of Coinbase was useful to you, especially if you're in that category of folks who have been wanting to get into the crypto space a little bit, but have been a little bit overwhelmed. As you can see, it's actually pretty easy with something like a Coinbase account to get your feet wet, get in there and start getting involved without too much drama or complexity. Okay, so I hope you guys put this information to good use, and good luck in your cryptocurrency journey.